All right, back at Lewis and Clark Trail. I've got my full pack on and I'm going to do some prep. A little bit of a pre-backpacking trip exercise to get used to the pack again. And on the Lewis and Clark Trail to, well, quite honestly, to tackle that frickin' hill that killed me last time. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to tackle that steep, annoying hill, not with my day pack this time, but with the full pack. Also going to stop at some point and set up my tent or my hammock, the full setup, chair, all that good stuff. Just to make sure that I have everything this time. All right, the mosquitoes are ridiculous. So make sure you're wearing some kind of insect repellent. But this is the first waypoint right here. It's a little gully, and it really starts the first uphill of the Lewis and Clark Trail. That's I think of that as a transition point on the trail. So I'm going to try to mark those on the map, the waypoints, and tell you what I think of each section. Maybe a different little format. Let's see how long that holds out. There's a ton of mushrooms this time. All kinds of mushrooms coming up. All right, so my second waypoint marks a bench, but it also marks an area just before this first big downhill area. So it's this is Lewis and Clark Trail AB after the first bench. Mosquitoes are still horrible anytime you stop. So as long as I keep moving at a fairly good pace, they don't have a chance to swarm around me. But geez, as soon as you stop, it is brutal. Look at that switchback coming up. There's a trail down there. And here comes the bridge. Huh. Guess I need to mark that waypoint. Okay. Mark waypoint. Waypoint marked. Yay. Waypoint marked. The bridge. Alright, that next waypoint after the bridge is right down there at the corner and starts the first big uphill. When you're going the direction that I go, which in my humble opinion is the only sane way to do it. Do the hard part first, have an easy out. But lots of people seem to pick the other way for some very weird reason. All right, this is turning out to be quite an educational experience. We got Hey.
Hey.
My saw fell out, so I'm gonna have to put that in a different pouch for the Bell Mountain hike. And the mosquitoes, damn, you can't stop. You stop and the mosquitoes are all over you. Fortunately, they're not biting me because of the Sawyer insect repellent, but geez, it's just annoying to have them all up in your face. Anyway, the previous waypoint there is the split between Lewis Trail and Clark Trail. I'm on the Clark, the short one, and let you know how that goes. All right, that waypoint was another bench, and it's just before this arduous downhill. Of course, if you're coming the other direction, it's right after this obnoxious uphill. Of course, not being able to stand still for even a moment without these freaking mosquitoes swarming all over you is making this hike very much hell. So my original intent was to come out here and do my full hammock setup with you know, the tarp and everything, but the mosquitoes out here are absolutely insane. I mean, everybody's running. Of course, you get out here and you get, you know, 4 or 5 miles in. Only way to go is out. You know, it takes about that long for them to drive you absolutely insane. So yeah, full hammock setup is not getting done. I am resting just before that big hill, and thankfully I brought my camping hammock, which has the bug net. So much better to take a little break and not be assaulted by mosquitoes. I do need to adjust my laying position to get really comfortable, but geez, it's insane. I don't think I've ever seen mosquitoes this freaking bad. I could be wrong, but damn, this is crazy. All right, added me a fresh coat of the insect repellent, and I've got to wash my hammock when I get back home. Let it dry because it is sweat soaked at the moment. And I'm going to brave the mosquitoes, put the hammock up, and do that monster hill. Not going to be setting up my hammock because, geez, the mosquitoes are horrible. Not going to be doing my full hammock setup, I should say. All right, so this is the hill. I had my hammock set up right over there, but this is the hill that kicked my butt last time. I had on a smaller pack, and I had hiked 3 less miles, but we're gonna see how this does. It's a long way up. Mosquitoes are a little less bad. I don't know if they just couldn't get to me and gave up or what, but I can already feel it hitting. I'll see you later. So, taking a break here, the trip odometer on the Garmin says I've done 2.9 miles. Seems a lot worse than that, but still only means I got a little over 2 miles to go for this 5 point something mile hike. up here above the river, above the Katy Trail. So it's pretty cool. Hey, and yep, I'm gonna refill my water. Going to go down and take a look at the scenery down there, but I might be sweating a little bit. Oh man, yeah, I'm soaked. But this is the top of the hill. Basically, it's got little chairs, and you can go out and look at the scenery, which is nice. And spent about 5 minutes killing mosquitoes, and they started leaving me alone. Mostly, there's still a little few, but let's take a look. Yep, pretty nice view. All right. All right, back up to, son of a bitch. My shoes fell off. Huh. All right, this waypoint is the beginning of this big downhill. And skeeters, screw it. That's the bottom of that hill, and I was gonna just keep going, but that's just weird to see out here in the middle of the woods on a trail.
So it was a nice little 5.3 mile hike. Not sure why it says 9.9 miles, but I got some waypoints and want to go over those with you. Yep, so right at the end there, I kind of got tired of fighting the mosquitoes every time I stopped for more than a half a second. I did manage to get a lot of the waypoints, so I'm going to go over them here. We're going to start out here at the trailhead. We're going to start out here and walk up here to the first transition point, which is about a half a mile, 0.45 miles from the trailhead. The trail up to that point is kind of just normal. I mean, it's little small uphills, downhills, couple little turns, but it's nothing major. Then you get to here and you turn, and this starts a first little uphill. I mean, it's not steep. It's fairly long for how far it rises. And then you get over here, and at the top of that hill is the first bench. About 880 feet up that hill. That also starts the first downhill. And you get a little transition here. Then you get to the bridge, which starts a little flat section. Well, flat section probably starts around here and goes on to the bridge and a little past it. Now this starts the first big uphill, which kind of only goes to about here. But this is a little uphill, not bad. Let's see. That was about 589 feet from the bridge. Nothing too remarkable until you get to the trail split. You got some uphills, kind of minor, but a little over half a mile you get to the trail split. You can see the little trail splitting off here. This time I chose the short section. A, because I had the big pack on, and B, because of the obscene amount of mosquitoes. So 0.284 mile, you get to the second bench. This is like right in the middle of a kind of a nowhere section, and it's just a little bench out there. Not remarkable for anything other than it's the second bench on the Clark section. Almost a half mile from there is where the trail splits. Now you see the trail coming in here and a trail coming in here, but they do meet here. It would look like they would meet down here, but they kind of run parallel for a little bit here. Right around in this section is a very narrow section of the trail. Nowhere to go on the right if you're coming from this way, and pretty steep uphill on the left. So you're very limited as to passing other people. And then down here is the start of the big nasty uphill. About here is where I set up my hammock, but this is the start of the big nasty. You get up here, come around this, still going up, 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 and this is the section right here where you get to the vertigo stairs. You've got a straight rail and the stairs kind of curve. So the difference between the rail and the stairs kind of give you this vertigo feeling. And even after that, you've still got a slight uphill. This is a slightly steeper uphill. And then you come back. You finally get to the top of that in 0.36 miles. And then you have this section where the little benches are. You walk out here to one of the overlooks. I think there's an overlook here, overlook here. There's 3 places where you can come out and overlook the Katy Trail. So this area right here would be where I was resting and sweat soaked the bench. There's an overlook here, and you can come down here and there's another one, I believe. Walk back through the woods, there's a overlook off the trail here. So you would leave the trail about here, walk over here, and look out over the Katy Trail. This one, I kind of got completely distracted by mosquitoes. I think this is the start of the big hill, big downhill that I was talking about. That's the bottom of the big downhill, and I think here's about where I saw the wheelbarrow. Come down through here, there's a little bend. I did not know there was a cemetery there. That is interesting. Yep, that is 0.13. Not exactly sure what that is. Now this could very well be the last kind of little overlook. It's overgrown. You don't really go out on the cliff. There are a bunch of big rocks here. So that's the kind of the last resting point before you get to the real easy section. So from there, you're going up a little ways, and here is where the cool down starts. From that point on, the trail is fairly wide, pretty much flat, not much going on. The only issues you're going to encounter on this section of the trail is that when it rains, it gets muddy. Other than that, it's pretty flat. You get here, and the trail really widens out, and it's almost like walking on a little road, only the dirt's soft. And again, can get muddy between here. So from that point, from the cool down start, it's almost a half mile there. And then another almost half mile, 4.2 or 0.425 miles, you get to the last bench. And that is pretty much just a little hop until you get to here, which is the final stretch. It's just a little bit of a curve to the parking lot. So I hope that's a pretty good overview. The mosquitoes just killed me on that trip. So, and the reason I don't go right is because this is a very, very, very easy section. Pretty much all the way to here, the final overlook. Pretty much from there all the way to the parking lot is a fairly easy trail. And that's why a lot of people park here, go to the rocks overlook here, and walk back, because it is not that far.